four mechanism of action mainly. One is sodium channel mediated action, another is calcium channel mediated, third is GABA mediated, and another is glutamate mediated. Okay, so at first I want to say that this GABA is a inhibitory neurotransmitter and glutamate is a excitatory neurotransmitter. So some medication act through this sodium channel, some medication through calcium channel inhibition, some by stimulate this GABA, and some by inhibiting this glutamate. Okay, so what are the drugs that inhibit the sodium channel, which is important because you know sodium is important for the excitation of the neuronal excitation. So some drugs like you can remember these drugs, carbamazepine. So when carbamazepine, the newer generation, this oxcarbamazepine also with phenytoin and zonisamide, these drugs are mainly act by inhibiting sodium channel. Okay, only one drug, most of the cases, ethosuximide. This is the unique things that ethosuximide act by inhibiting calcium channel. And this GABA, you know, this GABA is inhibitory neurotransmitter, and when we inhibit the excitatory neurotransmitter and stimulate the inhibitory neurotransmitter, that can help to prevent and treat convulsion. So here GABA receptor or GABAergic action is stimulated by some drugs because this is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. So what are the drugs? These are phenobarbital, benzodiazepine groups drugs, pregabalin and vigabatrin. Among them, these four drugs are mainly act through GABA. Okay, and among them, this phenobarbital and benzodiazepine mainly increase the GABAergic activity. Just remember that these drugs, phenobarbital, benzodiazepine, pregabalin and vigabatrin. So you can remember by another way, GAGA. Okay, Viga here GA, pregabalin here is also GA, and benzodiazepam. So here you can find out some similarity, and other this phenobarbital. So GA means this you can remember by this GABA. Okay. So these drugs are mainly GABAergic activity stimulated. Okay. Now another drug which acts on this glutamate, which is excitatory neurotransmitter. So what actually do this topiramate? Topiramate inhibit glutamate. So when topiramate act in glutamate by inhibition, so excitatory neurotransmitter just stop, then inhibitory neurotransmitter or inhibitory function upper hand, and in this way anticonvulsant act. Okay, so in next slide, other most important drug that is frequently used, this is sodium valproate. Okay, so sodium valproate, how can sodium valproate act? Sodium valproate act many way. One, sodium valproate act by inhibiting sodium channel, also act by inhibiting calcium channel, and also increase the GABA activity. So if we go back to our previous slide, you can find that these drugs only act like carbamazepine, oxcarbamazepine, phenytoin, zonisamide, act mainly through this sodium channel. Okay, so their action is only on sodium channel. Ethosuximide only on calcium channel, and this benzodiazepine, phenobarbital with this pregabalin and vigabatrin that acts through GABA. But sodium valproate, which is very commonly used effective drugs, anticonvulsant, that act through this sodium channel, calcium channel and GABA. Okay. Okay, next. And topiramate not only inhibit glutamate, it blocks sodium channel, it increase GABAergic activity. So inhibit carbonic anhydrase, you can, if possible, you can remind these things or not. But most important, topiramate, mate, look, mate, okay, topiramate and glutamate. So what happened? Topiramate inhibit glutamate. Other two way also That is, it inhibits sodium channel and increase GABAergic activity. So this is about the mechanism of action of most important anticonvulsants. So is it clear for all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So in simple way, you just try to remember, because lots of things are in books, and not actually not all things is necessary to remember. You can just remember by this way. Okay, so topiramate, glutamate, that I already said, and pregabalin, GA, and vigabatrin, GA, otherwise that jet benzodiazepine that acts through the GABAergic activity. Okay. Now, the another important and frequently asked things are side effects. So these are the common drugs with their common side effects. Okay. So what is this? This carbamazepine. At first, we can discuss this carbamazepine. So most important side effects of carbamazepine, all of you know, that is rash, Stevens-Johnson syndrome. You can remember by this rash, Stevens-Johnson syndrome, vitiligo, most commonly Stevens-Johnson. Another is ataxia, another diplopia, and other two important, one important blood dyscrasia, mostly aplasia and agranulocytosis. So look, you can remember by RAD, R-A-D. Okay, just 1 second. Okay. Okay, so just remember by this way, this is R-A-D. R means rash, A means ataxia, and D for diplopia. So R-A-D. Carbamazepine, common side effect RAD. D also include dyscrasia. Okay, so rash means Stevens-Johnson syndrome, vitiligo. A for ataxia, D for diplopia, and blood dyscrasia. So this can be the mnemonic, not red. This is Radovach or RAD, R-A-D. Okay, same things with lamotrigine. Lamotrigine also causes the same side effect, this red, rash, ataxia, diplopia, but here blood dyscrasia is not present. Okay. Now, another important and commonly used drugs with its side effects, that is phenytoin. So you just look at the spelling of phenytoin, Phenytoin, and look at the side effect. P450 inducer, H for hirsutism and heart defect, and the most commonly heart effect is aortic stenosis and pulmonary stenosis. Okay, E for enlarged gum, N for nystagmus, Y for yellow brown skin, T for teratogenicity, O for osteopenia, I means it inhibits folic acid, and N for neuropathy. So by its name, you can easily remember the side effects of these drugs. Okay. Okay, fine. Now about the ethosuximide. What are the side effects of ethosuximide? So here is also a mnemonic like E. E means ethosuximide. Okay. Then you can just go FGHI. EFGHI. So E for ethosuximide, then F for fatigue, G for GI disturbance, H for headache with hypersensitivity, and I for itching. So EFGHI, and another you can remember by itching and Stevens-Johnson syndrome by same way. Okay, so this is the easy way to remember that I said. Carbamazepine and lamotrigine, same, RAD, R-A-D, R for rash, which is Stevens-Johnson syndrome or any rash, A for ataxia, and D for diplopia. In carbamazepine, it also includes blood dyscrasia. Okay, phenytoin, you can remember by its own name, Phenytoin. And ethosuximide, this is EFGHI. So E means ethosuximide and F, fatigue, GI disturbance, hypersensitivity with headache, itching. Okay. Now, another most important drugs, that is sodium valproate. Okay. So in sodium valproate, the side effects you can also remember. How? That is vomiting, nausea. You can just remember this valproate like phenytoin. Okay. Valproate. V for vomiting and nausea, A for anorexia, L for liver toxicity, P for two things, PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and pancreatitis, R for resistance of insulin, A for alopecia, ataxia, T for teratogenicity, tremor, and E indicates enzyme inducer. So it's the easy way to remember the side effects. Is it clear? So I just repeat once. V for vomiting, A for anorexia, L for liver toxicity, P for PCOS and pancreatitis, R denotes resistance of insulin, O means obesity, edema, A alopecia and ataxia, T teratogenicity, tremor, E enzyme inducer. Okay. So that's all about the anticonvulsants. You just remember the mechanism of action and the side effects. That is all about the anticonvulsants. Okay. Now another important and frequently, most commonly asked things that is antiarrhythmic. Okay. So these are the antiarrhythmics. These are the mechanism of action. How? Class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, and unclassified. Sorry. Okay. So class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So these are the antiarrhythmic drugs, 5 types. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and another is unclassified. Okay. So class 1 means that is sodium channel blocker. You know the cardiac cycle, not cardiac cycle, actually that action potential, everything where sodium, potassium, calcium channel is involved. So class 1 means it inhibit the sodium channel, block the sodium channel. Class 2 means beta blocker. Okay. Class 3 potassium channel blocker. Class 4 calcium channel blocker, and other is unclassified. Okay. So what are the drugs? Okay. So the class 1 which block the sodium channel are 3 types, 1A, B, C. So 1 is subdivided into 1A, 1B, and 1C. And the drugs under 1A, this quinidine and procainamide, it actually these you just try to memorize these things. Okay. So class 1, under class 1 there are 3 subheadings, 1A, B, and C. So 1A drugs includes quinidine, procainamide, class 1B lidocaine, and class 1C flecainide. Okay. Class 2 which is beta blocker. So you know propranolol and acebutolol. Propranolol which is non-selective beta blocker, and cardioselective beta blocker is acebutolol, which can act this antiarrhythmic. Okay. Now class 3 which is potassium channel blocker, and the drugs are amiodarone and sotalol. You know that supraventricular tachycardia, ventricular tachycardia, here these drugs are can be used. Okay. So because that is arrhythmia. Now class 4 which is calcium channel blocker, that is verapamil and diltiazem. Okay. And other unclassified group, that is adenosine and magnesium. You know this magnesium can be used in torsade de pointes. Okay. So no need to remember very much, just remember the groups and the name of the drug and their mechanism of action. Is it clear for all? Okay. Now about antihypertensive. So antihypertensive, actually you just try to remember the most important drug, that is angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor. Okay. Because this is mainly asked in the question this about this angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor and angiotensin 2 receptor blocker. So angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor, that is enalapril or captopril. Okay, so enalapril or captopril, which is ACE inhibitor, and angiotensin 2 receptor blocker is losartan. And just remember, because these things can be asked, that recommended in children with renal hypertension. So in ACE inhibitor you can use in children who are present with renal hypertension. And always remember, always, it's not important only for the part 1, this is also important for the part 2. Okay, so just remember, this is recommended for children who is present with renal hypertension, and first dose should be given at night. Why? To prevent transient hypotension. So this is very important here, each line is very important. Okay, and in children with impaired renal function, so you can give this to renal hypertension, but you have to monitor these childs also, because in children with impaired renal function, at first you should check serum creatinine and potassium 2 to 3 days after starting the treatment, and consider withdrawal if they have risen. That means you should give the treatment with ACE inhibitor in patient with renal hypertension. Okay, and you should give the first dose at night to prevent hypotension. Okay, now another important things about this drug, that in children with impaired renal function, at first you should after giving this drug 2 to 3 days after, you should check two important things. One is serum creatinine, another is serum potassium, and if either of these is increased, you just withdraw the drug. Okay, and this drug is contraindicated when in bilateral renal artery stenosis. So here each line is important for the exam. Okay, so ACE inhibitor you can give in renal case, and it is also contraindicated in renal case. What? This is bilateral renal artery stenosis. Okay, so that is not important. Then the angiotensin 2 receptor blocker in children with impaired renal function. Okay, same. At first you check serum creatinine and potassium 2 to 3 days after